did as kids this weekend and how my mom beat the hell out of us because we was climbing up in a tree.
Amazing. Hello, YouTube. We're live. We're back for Black and Curious. We're here for a reality recap. We're doing Love and Marriage DC and Real Housewives of Potomac. I think Dehjai may have some pop culture for us to get to first, though.
Of course, before we actually even do any of that, I thought it's high time that we brought back the branding, and I've updated it for the YouTube fam. So we'll go ahead and play that. I want you to breathe. I want you to breathe. I want you to breathe. Okay, I am still fussing because I'm all types of flustered now because this nigga is in the room. Get out!
Fine. He's gonna be like, what did they talk about? And get the hell on anyway. But we'll take your view for the stats. All right.
Okay.
Where should we begin?
It's on to the mess with all of the pop culture foolishness.
Yes.
Let me go ahead and put that up on the screen. Disclaimer for the folks on the YouTube street. I mean, the Instagram streets. If you follow us on YouTube, you will be able to see the entire show with all the slides and pictures and whatever that stuff. So let's get into it, shall we?
We shall.
All right. So the manosphere strikes again. These folks is mad because Rihanna is the center focus on this Vogue cover with ASAP and the baby, and I'm just over them. I'm like, y'all need to get over this. Like,
I just feel like ASAP is so happy. He is okay. I implore you, if you haven't watched it, go watch the GQ 21 questions where they ask each other 21 questions. And you can tell that these people are perfectly happy with whatever they have going on. It was from a few years ago when they were on the or when ASAP was on the cover. But they're very happy. They're enjoying each other. And they're obviously enjoying each other because she's pregnant again. And the people are happy. Now, I don't like the cover. I don't like the cover. And I am a Rihanna girly. And I have a lot of Rihanna covers that I have collected over the years. But this is not my favorite. It's not my favorite because I don't like the styling. Not because the man is in the back.
I want to say that I think I was listening to the read, and Fury was saying that she was giving sexy Morticia Adams who be getting her business on. And I was like, oh, that's cute. It's fitting with the big hair and like the smoky eye and like the just sex hot energy. It's fitting. I'm not saying that this is the best Rihanna cover we've ever received, but it's fitting for a description of this. Anyway,
and also, I really don't like the I understand depth perception, I get it, but it almost looks like they shrunk him down. He's not.
That's what the manosphere
he's
people
not a short guy.
About.
They're the same. They're roughly the same height. If he's not just a little bit taller than him, and then Rihanna. But it's almost like he would need to be a few steps further back to be that small.
I mean, I'm saying that, but that's the thing. They're claiming that this is emasculating to the black man and the black family, and the man is supposed to be the head of the household, and why is she in the front? And it's y'all are ridiculous.
That part
Rihanna is a billionaire.
That part is dumb because this is about her and her Super Bowl performance and whatever else she's got coming next, which is absolutely nothing other than Fenty Beauty because it's certainly not an album.
Are you mad though? Tell us, are you mad?
I'm very upset. Not upset. I'm happy I got to see her for Anti. That was one of probably my top 5 favorite shows of all time. So it was she puts on a hell of a show. And here's the thing. Let me say this about Rihanna. The girlies are always trying to compare Rihanna to Beyonce. What you need to do is think about her as a rapper. If you think about her as a rapper and you go in with your expectations that she's going to perform like a rapper, she outperforms a rapper. You just have to,
I like this
tweak
idea.
Your mind a little bit.
Tweak your mind.
Because she has rapper energy, not singer girly energy. She has a lot of energy. But anyways, this cover is
I like this.
This cover is annoying for other reasons for me. But it not
We're
because
gonna move right on
he's
along.
in the background and he's not the head of the household. He looks like he is so happy with that baby and his hand on this cover.
Okay.
God bless him. Moving
Smooching on his little baby. The baby looked just like her.
on.
Her little twin for sure.
So cute.
Cute. All right. Next story. It's been a whole lot of drama and hoopla around this this song between CB1 and CB2. I just thought it was funny today that they both have the same initials, Chloe Bailey and Chris Brown. I, for one, I know, but I mean, I'm just saying, like CB1 and CB2. Anyway, I understand that he has had continuous issues since the thing that happened when he was a kid with him and Rihanna.
He wasn't a kid.
I guess at some point, that's what's blowing me. When you're 19 years old, if we were talking about a 19-year-old today in the 30s that we're in, we would describe that person as a child. Legally, yeah, you're an adult, but like your mindset, you're still a kid. So it's weird to me that people want to they keep saying that he's an adult, but like, come on now. Nobody in society really addresses a 19-year-old as an adult.
Sure. And I understand what you're saying, but like also if he had changed his behavior, I think we'd be more willing to say, oh, he was a kid, but he has been terrible. He has continued to be terrible to people. And so to women in particular. So I think people are a lot less forgiving of such.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with that. I understand where all the animosity comes from, but it's just kind of like, at what point do we just let it be? Because he's still out here selling records and making money. He's still like doing well, like I didn't realize. I was listening to the Reed's their live show this weekend. I didn't realize that he had any like infractions in like the last like 3 years. So that was news to me. I'm like, damn, I thought he was on the up and up once he started popping out kids. But either way, I just want the hometown kid to win. I do. Like, get on the straight and narrow and fly right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel bad because he's like, I don't know. I still look at him as that babyface kid that came out when we was in college, and I know that that's not who he is. But I want I want the best for him. That's whatever. So I'm gonna get off the soapbox.
And he's super talented. And also, I think exactly. Like with Chris Brown,
that's where it comes from for me.
We know also like. I want him to get off the drugs because I think that's the bigger issue than anything else.
I'm saying, but like the thing about it is he sober up long enough to put out records and whatnot.
He sobers up long enough to give you a bop, honestly. But listen, I don't think that as a new artist like Chris Brown ought to be on your calling card. I think that's what everybody is kind of saying. And Chloe seems like she's working hard to try to find her lane. Well, she looks like she's working hard to try to find Beyonce's lane. But she's working hard trying to follow right down those footsteps, and she needs to find her own lane is what I'm saying. And
I feel like that's what she's trying to do.
I don't
I think that she has a lot of Beyonce influence, obviously, but I think that she is trying to establish her own self and her own like artist entity by all the stunts and stuff that we're seeing. The only thing that really like I'm not a fan of, but it ain't for me anyway, is the constant like sexualization of her, and it's not like a for me it's not like a respectability politics. It's more or less like you are beautiful just as you are. I don't need to see your body all the time.
Understood.
And literally that's all I feel like we see.
Well, the thing is, I don't have any feelings about that one way or the other. I just feel like her tone, like her singing tone, is very like almost as though she has modeled it after Beyonce. And also I actually like the group collective Chloe and Halle quite a bit, and she's wildly talented. She is wildly talented. Like if you've ever seen her on live, she's like putting together her own beats, she's doing her own thing, like right there on a live. And I just think that she could do much better than just trying to be a second Beyonce. Like I think she can do much better than this. personally, but
yeah. I hear you.
Or she can do
know.
something more creative.
She's...
But again, maybe she's going pop star route and like more indie involved. I think that's what she's going for. But a more like indie. Yeah, I think so. Like her sound, she's been making like very kind of poppy, catchy, like the treat me like the treat. That is very like she's trying to get that poppy hip hop sort of sound, and go kind of like poppy to me. But
I don't know. Either way, I understand I am not her audience. And
compared
that's okay. I like the song that she has with CB1.
Compared to how they sound as a group, which is more like of an indie kind of chill mode vibe, she's definitely going for a harder edge and like a more pop edge. So anyways,
absolutely.
I like the Chloe. I just think she is, I don't know. I don't understand some of the decisions. That's all. This is one of them. I not that I have anything against Chris Brown, but it's like, okay, it's not even like demographically the same. Like, why don't you go collab with one of your peers? Like, Chris Brown isn't really one of her peers. Like,
I don't know, but I mean, if you like, the saying is like all controversy is good, publicity or whatever. I don't know the saying. I just jacked that totally up, y'all. But y'all know what I'm saying. So everybody's talking about it. People are going to go listen to the music. So had they not done it together, it may not have charted as well as it might now because all the drama surrounding it. So whatever, on to the next. So for this next clip, it's an actual video clip. So what I'm going to do is mute us here on YouTube, and then I'll bring the sound up so that we can actually hear it. Because I know in the past conversations where I've had a video clip, we're talking to each other and to Instagram, and it sounds a little botched. So uno momento, kids.
What? Okay. We don't need to wait for Robin to try to clarify any of this because I already got the clarifications. I'm going to explain to you what you're about to see. Shout out to Bravo and Cocktails for getting this photo and for also blocking this woman's face out. But it says spotted hugging arms around each other in a laundromat last Monday. When Copen State University played NSU in Virginia, this woman is the director of athletics at Copen State University. Now, you guys, there's an explanation, and it is similar to the one about the hotel room. Listen, this woman lost her wallet. She needed to get her laundry done. And Juan was just there helping to facilitate that so that she could get her laundry done. And it was just a nice gesture. Let's not blow this up.
Okay. So yeah,
embarrassing. I am so horrified for her. No, I'm not. I take that back. I am horrified. I'm embarrassed for her. But like, Jesus Christ, he didn't even wait till the ink was dry.
Hold that thought. Hold that thought before you jump into it. I do want to give credit where it's due. This came from Georgie Says on TikTok, and he also, the full conversations are on his YouTube channel. I have not watched those. I've just kind of been following him on TikTok. But what I'll do is probably like tomorrow sometime, I'll try to find it and then link those conversations because he also has like a phone interview with the chick from the hotel. So I just was like, we got to put this up here. We're going to talk about the Housewives reunion and shit. So why not?
Legitimately did not even wait for the ink on the new marriage license to dry before he brought yet another woman into their relationship. What is going on? See, this is why she shouldn't have married him. I am team she should have never remarried him. Because he was not all that interested in marrying her.
And then the other thing for me is like that it was alleged, or no, it was said on the ending, the finale, that there was no prenup. That she never got the paperwork done. It was never signed.
Because they could not agree upon the infidelity clause.
The fidelity issues. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which clearly they could not agree on it because he has been an infidel. I don't know if that's a word, but he has not been faithful.
I mean, it is. I don't know that we got the right context for infidel, but I guess we can Google it. Y'all let us know in the comments.
Listen, he has not been faithful to that lady. That's why he didn't want to sign no infidelity clause, because he already knew he was doing wrong. That is so embarrassing. And she let him embarrass her multiple times on this program and still married him, and now is continuing to be embarrassed into the...
I just think, I'm just sitting back thinking about like how I was giving the drunken commentary on on the stories when she was on Watch What Happens Live. And it's like, girl, like you were in the hot seat in that moment, but like you were further in the hot seat, because I don't doubt that this story that's coming out about this other person, you knew about this too. So it's like, it's back to like season 1, season 2, when everybody was calling her stupid. I don't know.
It's like, I want better for her, but I can't want better for her than she wants for herself. Like, I'm sort of getting to that spot with Robin, because
like emotionally battered, like housewife. Like, so because this is all that, because it sounds like from the 7 seasons that we've had, he's the only man that she's ever been with. And so like, she don't know anything else. So she's afraid to go out and do something different. And these are all speculations. We don't know this shit to be true, but I'm just saying, like, that's what it's giving. So it's, I feel for Robin, because I'm like, damn, like you like did all of these antics over the last 3 seasons, and then we're back at square one. We're back at season 1, season 2, when you about the divorce and why you divorced and all of this foolery. Like, I just don't understand it. And
you went and did that. You went and did that in Norfolk, Virginia, where people don't have nothing else to do but to capture you and be messy.
Child. All right. Well, since we're here, we can slide on.
Say that, child. Okay, go ahead.
I'm saying, since we're here, we can slide on into this Housewives reunion. Before we actually do that, we're both sipping on our wine. So what are you actually drinking?
I am having 19 Crimes, the Martha's Chard.
I don't really like Chardonnay. I keep seeing that, but I've never bought it. Is it good? The only one I've ever had that I was like okay with is butternut Chardonnay.
I just like a crisp white wine sometimes. It doesn't have to be anything special for me. I'm not like a white wine drinker. I prefer red, but sometimes you just want something light and crispy. So like, this is what I drink when I want something light and crispy.
I've been looking for something. Maybe I will try it if it's doable. We'll see. Yeah. If not, I'll be giving it away.
Sure. What about you? What are you drinking?
So I ventured out to the Trader Joe's yesterday, and they had like a wine tasting, and so I bought one of their wines they were doing, one of the Trader Joe's reserves. It's called like a Wahluke Slope or Wahluke Slope Syrah. I don't know. I'm probably butchering the name. It's a Syrah basically, but it's really good. This is my first
in the description box, child, so the girls can get a piece.
It's my first time trying a Syrah and like buying one for myself. So this is actually pretty good. So, but yeah. Fantastic. All right, we're back to the reunion. So
we're back to the reunion.
Who child the ghetto?
So much, and we haven't been here for a couple weeks, so we can really start kind of from the beginning, but do a heavy recap, if you will.
I am here for the fact that not Lord, I'm about to say Murray, Jesus, that Candace cleared Giselle. Yeah, she needed to, because this whole thing is so dumb. I really wish that they had an opportunity to like speak. I wish they had an opportunity to do the reunion after that Watch What Happens Live debacle, so that they could speak to what actually happened. Because like all this righteous indignation that Robin is giving and the shit that she said and this recent, like, girl, really? He
was like, you should share everything. And it's like, girl, if you don't get the hell out of here, no, you don't share everything, and nobody else is going to share everything either. Getting back to the read, Dehjai versus Giselle. Dehjai was not wrong. I just think she is vile, and she always goes too far. And with the whole incident and like the whole thing she said about I forget what she called it, like your old uterus, essentially. Like, I'm gonna pull it up. Anyway, she said something about referencing Giselle's. hysterectomy. And I just don't think that's necessary. And I know a lot of the girlies were like, oh, but when Phaedra did it, y'all were here for her reading Kenya down. And I wasn't here for that either, just to be clear. When she was talking about Kenya's dried up eggs or whatever. I'm just like, I just think that is in such poor taste when it's like a woman's issue. This lady has fibroids. She had issues to the point. Hey, Mona Lisa, this lady had issues to the point where she had to get surgery. She had a traumatic surgery, and you're over here just like tossing that around like it's just funny. And that, I don't find that to be humorous. Like if she had stopped before she got to that part, it would have been fine. But to me, it was just too much. And she always goes too far. Always.
It is, but I feel like she's an akin to Wendy, where she's always super hurt. And so when she's in that super hurt, she goes for the jugular. There is no middle ground.
I don't even know if it's hurt. Candace is just mean. Like, I just think she's mean. She's mean, and she goes for the jugular each and every time. Like she doesn't know how to just stop at the read. She has to insult you, something about your physical being as well.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's necessary.
I disagree. Will you pin this at the bottom, Pooh? Yeah. So that we have it for the people that are joining us late.
Yeah. Okay. What else is going on?
The skipping on around, I did appreciate that Wendy also cleared Mia in the sense that, like, girl, you literally assaulted me, you did a whole lot, and then you turned around and wanted to make up, but like you're not owning any of this stuff. That thing that Mia said at the end, which we'll hear, I guess, next week, about her allegedly giving the puss over to Uncle Ben, what's his name?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Thomas. There we go.
Peter.
I don't believe that for a minute. Like, girl, you just reaching. Like, that sounds ridiculous. That does not give any sort of any other ladies maybe, but like I just don't see Wendy.
Hey, look,
like,
let me say this. Okay, let me say this. And I know looks are not everything, but I would find it hard to believe that Wendy, with her 3 kids and all of her things that she has going on, would leave her house to tip her house and her very attractive husband to go tip down to Peter's door. I find it hard to believe now. Like,
I just trying to be swimming with no old balls. Like, come on now. No. Uncle Ben is in his like late 50s or maybe early 60s.
We don't
now, understandably, that good black don't crack, but she ain't doing that.
Wendy is not leaving her door for that. I'm so sorry. And all of that mess.
So it's just ridiculous. But Wendy, like Mia, not Wendy, Wendy, like, what's her name? Candiachi is also very vile because she's another one that wants to go low and like her low just be irrational.
Mia will lie. Like, Mia is worse because she will just out and out lie and she don't care. And then she'll be like walking back like, well, I was just joking, or I didn't mean it like that.
Or I interpreted it as.
Girl, no, you didn't. You lied. You lied because you are a liar. Like, this is a prime example. As well as her lying all damn through her explanation of her business. If you haven't seen it before, we have a whole video reading the doll down because we think that she embezzled. Like Giselle said, allegedly.
And I feel like Wendy was trying to get to the meat of that, but like either Andy or Mia like cut her off at the pass because I feel like Wendy was finna fry her on that.
Giselle?
Because it was just not making sense. I mean, no, not Giselle, Wendy, because she was asking questions about this foolishness that Mia was saying, and then it was just like, oh, if you don't understand business, like trying to just chop it up that way so that it becomes this back and forth about nothing. That Wendy, I mean, Mia is good for doing like a crazy like antic to like change the trajectory of the conversation when she's not gonna give you anything.
Her legal training, her not quite finished legal training came into handy because she was getting ready to drag the girls. That's just like Meredith on Housewives of Salt Lake City. I don't know if you've ever watched a Salt Lake City reunion, but Meredith is an attorney, and you can tell because she will set up a question and then just leave it there. You'll answer the question and she'll just leave it. And Andy will be like, okay then. And then by the time we're at the end, she gonna collect all the evidence and build a case against you to do her closing argument. I love to see it. Anyways, I think you're right. Wendy was about to do the same thing, but even more so, I feel like Giselle just hit the nail on the head. Like, she wasn't even trying to build a case. She was like, it sounds like embezzlement. sound like you was stealing money from the house. That's what it sounds like. So is that what happened?
So they decided to cut your access off, baby, because you're not going to bankrupt this company.
Literally, Giselle said exactly what we said. Like, she was trying to get ahead of something. So, you know, and that's what Giselle's argument was when they were like, why aren't you more open? She was like, well, I mean, this person is trying to be more open so she can get ahead of all the chaos that she has going on in her life. I was like,
Since we're here and we're talking about Jizzy, I did appreciate that Andy checked her, even though it was like a really emotional thing, and like she wasn't like clearly like to give her a moment to like gather herself to talk about it, but like she literally was like, we can talk about that later, and Andy was like, no, we're going to talk about that now.
Yeah.
I'm like, finally, like, give her some of the same energy that she be giving the rest of these videos. She been giving it to them for the last 7 years. Like,
yeah. And also, I think it was an opportunity for her to be vulnerable, which a lot of times people don't see her as, because she, I mean, frankly, isn't usually on this show. So I think it was actually, it did her
she isn't in real life, according to her. She said that when she had the last season, I was saying that she isn't in real life, according to her, because she said that when she and Jamal were having a conversation in the car about her lack of vulnerability and not feeling safe to express herself, and that was one of the major issues in their own relationship.
Got it. So yeah, it was nice to see her be vulnerable in that space. And Andy not letting her get off the hook and be like, no, you're going to talk about it because we need to hear from you, child. We ain't heard much from you. So yeah. And we actually have an episode we have an episode coming up. So stay tuned about how much these housewives are sharing or not sharing. We just recorded that. What else? Who else didn't we talk about? Karen, you know,
Karen didn't really have much these last 2 episodes.
I appreciated her being kind of the elder stateswoman in the colorism conversation. I thought that was
conversation
good.
Was awkward.
It was awkward, but I think it was needed because a lot of people online really do feel that this is a colorism issue. Like, this whole entire cast and who versus who is a big colorism issue. And I was actually glad to see Dehjai actually say that she doesn't think that it is. As one of the, you know, brown girls on the cast, she actually said she doesn't think that it's colorism. She thinks it's kind of a perception thing. And I honestly don't think it's
perception
colorism
and
either.
Privilege, yeah.
I don't think
that's why I was like, this is...
No, the girls are convinced. The girls are convinced online.
Oh no, I don't disagree with you. I was working with someone who was thoroughly convinced and had like this chip on her shoulder, so to speak, as it relates to this type of stuff. And it's just kind of like Ashley said, like, we can, as light-skinned people, we can accept the privilege that we have, but at the same time, like, not everything is a colorism issue. And Dehjai agreed to that. It's just like a bias slant from the audience, I guess. Like, we talked about this in a previous episode. I don't even remember what it was. We did talk about it when it came up in Wendy's second season, because it came up last year, right? I want to say we did talk about this briefly, because we were just kind of like, whoa, where did this come from? Like, why is this happening?
So yeah, I don't think it's, honestly, I don't think it's colorism. I think everybody's arguing with everybody. Some people go for the jugular and go below the belt. And I think that's what we see, unfortunately, from Candace. We see a lot of it, most of it from Candace at this point. We see some of it from Wendy. We see it from Mia. And I don't have a problem with calling everybody out. And honestly,
that's what I'm saying.
Before that,
everybody has done it.
Before all of this, Ashley was terrible too, and I didn't like her at all. And I still don't care for Ashley, but I didn't have a problem with calling her vile too. So,
but I think Candace equal opportunity. Candace was saying that, like, because Robin said, well, like, look, I get Mean Girl all the time. Like, because they showed that clip with her getting ready to square up with Monique in previous season. And then they showed a clip with her squaring up with Ashley, and like her being aggressive and her having been called aggressive in those environments. But then when we had the last season that Monique was on, like they were all up in arms about talking about the darker complected women being called aggressive. I don't know. I feel like this is a very touchy subject for me to speak on because I'm a light-skinned person, and I feel like
I think
it's a whole lot of drama. Like,
no, it's fine. And I think the whole, like, with Wendy, how Robin said that she was being like defensive or something, like she was being something in the fight with Mia. And then I think the colorism thing really started coming up because when it was when it was Candace versus Monique, obviously, like, there was less of that. But when it came time for Mia versus Wendy, like the light-skinned women, the Robin and Giselle, took Mia's side. But
Giselle was like, I don't like Wendy. That's why I did it. I don't care. And we knew that. So, like, why are we saying that this is a colorism issue when it's you just got shitty morals? Like, that's
and listen, what it comes down to. We've all watched enough Housewives to know that a lot of this stuff is not based on moral high ground. Most people, save maybe Karen, because I think Karen kind of tried to play both sides, like both of y'all were wrong. Especially with the Monique and Candace thing. I
feel like she's always said both sides, which is what always gets her in trouble.
But I think that's true, and I think that's a more accurate read of it than taking a side. But most times, the people just take the side of their fave, or if they don't have a fave in the situation, they just take the side of the other person that they don't like. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's somebody that if they're indifferent about whoever it is, whoever they like the least, they take the other person's side, essentially. So it's like, it's not colorism. They just didn't like Wendy. That's all.
No, and like that's Giselle literally just said that. Like, I don't like her. So that no.
And they haven't liked each other from the beginning. So I don't whatever. I don't know. I don't see colorism, but that's just me.
But word on the street in this new filming, word on the TikTok blogger street is that there's an upcoming conversation, possibly on camera, we don't know, we'll see, where Wendy and Giselle finally have like a Ponderosa, a meeting of hearts or whatever, and Giselle basically says that she did not like Wendy initially because she was the complexion of the women that Jamal was cheating on her with, and so they just made her feel like inferior or like away, like him doing that with those women. This is what the alleged story is. I don't know. We'll see next season if that actually comes to pass, if they put that on camera, but we'll see, child, because there's like a whole there's like a whole thing online where they were down in Atlanta for like an AKA convention, and this is when they had this heart-to-heart.
Okay, maybe.
And Giselle's former stepdaughter, I guess she still considers her such, but Jamal's eldest daughter is also an AKA, and like she's involved in this conversation. We'll see. Okay, if y'all know what I'm talking about, drop the information down in the comments. I saw this like sometime last week, and I was just kind of like,
yeah. So did we touch everybody on this reunion set?
I feel like we did. The only thing, we didn't really talk about Mia and Jacqueline. I would like to see Jacqueline come on and be like a permanent like friend to the show and see how she tests with the girls, because that energy betwixt her and Miss Mia. Yeah.
We've talked about this in the past, and I think it fits here. I don't like seeing family kind of going at it. And even though Mia and Jacqueline are not family, they are close enough that they kind of are. And it seems like this is kind of messing up their relationship, and I don't appreciate that.
Kind of messing up. I don't even know that I don't think that the show has had anything to do with messing up that relationship. I feel like that the demise of their friendship had everything to do with how Mia was talking to her this season, because Mia was rough.
Yeah, she was. She was.
So y'all get down in the comments and let us know what you thought about these reunion episodes and what you think is going to come out next week.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, where are we going?
All right, let's move on. Well, we only have one other thing. Love and Marriage DC.
You didn't watch the Housewives of New Jersey?
No. Do you want to talk about it?
I mean, we can wait. It's fine.
Okay.
I watched Love and Marriage DC this morning. I was like half asleep. So
okay,
you start first.
I will start. Let me just say this. Okay. So the Syrah getting all in Arena's face about the shady comment or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, okay. It really gets on my nerves that she is in Arena's face about this, because all Arena did was find one word to summarize everything that Joy said. Joy did not say shady, but she said everything else. She said everything else about that man that she could not stand.
Indeed.
And Syrah is like, but he's not shady. And I'm like, okay, but that was her sentiment.
That's how she described him.
But all Arena did was find a convenient word to summarize it, and she is like losing it with Arena, and I think that is so strange.
I'm just like, at this point, what I'm not going to do is let somebody get me bent all out of shape about my partner when I know who my partner is and how he operates and like all the stuff that I believe about this person.
And they've been together for a long time.
How you feel is how you feel. That's not my business. You can go to God with that. Like, 100%. We don't need to have beef. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need to have beef. Because, like, whatever happened between you is, like, old and, like, water under the bridge.
That's the other thing. It's so old.
Had a conversation. Like, you all have never had a conversation. It don't seem like you want to have a conversation. So why the fuck are we talking about this?
Basically. I agree with you.
You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like for Joy, that's her stance on it. I think that if she had just never said, like, oh yeah, I know Black, we used to be in a band together, we don't speak, we don't communicate anymore, and be done with it, that in that regard, it wouldn't have made all these waves. Like,
I agree. I think the issue with Joy was that she just came in hot and was just like, I don't fool with him and I don't want nothing to do with nobody who has anything to do with him. And it's just like, girl, that lady don't even know you.
Hello. And my thing is like, if that's how you feel, cool, 100%, 10 toes down in it, do your thing, right? We got to talk about that because you don't want to talk to these people anyway.
It was just too much. She did too much.
So like, it puts you in a position, because you're recording a reality show, it puts you in a position that now the producers want to know what the backstory is, and then they want to put you in places with people that you don't even want to talk to. So like, it's like she set herself up, and understandably, like, this is the second time around doing reality TV and then doing it in a ensemble cast fashion. Like, you live and you learn, you're going to go through these bumps and hurdles, and then hopefully next season shit will be different. But like, at this rate, with the way Love and Marriage DC is rolling, who knows who's going to be on the show next season, for real.
Honestly, like, I wish they'd cancel it.
Damn.
I don't like these people. You know, it's something about DC reality shows, because when they did Housewives of DC, it was boring too. Potomac, I know, is right down the street, but it's like it's a little something more to it. This DC cast is not, they're not fun. I don't find them fun. I don't find them interesting. I don't find anything about them watchable. And I wouldn't be watching this, frankly, if we weren't reviewing it. I've said that before.
I am perplexed as to why they call it Love and Marriage DC when none of these people actually live in DC. I feel like they're all in Maryland.
Well, that too. Like,
what's happening? Anyway, so that's all I really have about that.
I mean, the house is lovely. Joy and Clifton's house is lovely. We got to see that last week, I think. The party was cute. Little Jamie and Jamie were getting along. Praise be.
Them actually being in therapy, yeah, that was a blessing.
The therapy was
glad
good.
That little Jamie was open to continuing to speak to the therapist and was adamant 100%. Like towards the end about like having his contact information so that he can speak to him, because he felt comfortable. So 100%. Like, I'm happy to see that. I think that will like fast track his growth as a young man and like help him to heal whatever wounds that are there.
Absolutely. I agree with you. That was really good to see. And then, like I said, at the party
too.
He does. And to see them kind of getting along better at the party, it seems like they had at least the beginning of a breakthrough of like,
yeah,
we don't have to be at each other's throats all the time like this, you know, like I want better for you. I want you to want better for you. And
then Jamie Sr. being able to own, like, you know, like,
yeah,
maybe right energy and mindset, but wrong place and wrong time.
exactly.
Like, do this once you have come down a couple of steps.
Exactly, which is all that I've ever wanted. And we also have a conversation, a deep dive on their relationship that I think we posted last week. So get into that if you haven't yet.
Our premiere last week.
So that's pretty much it. I mean, like I said, Love and Marriage DC doesn't do anything for me.
The sit down between Winter and Ashley was pointless.
Winter just wears me out. I just can't.
I mean, they wear me out together. Like, like I said a couple of weeks ago, like for me, I think that shit would be different if Ashley could finally be like, you know what? I came in hot. I was like, she kind of said it in the first season, but not really. But like, I came in hot, you know, I was real like aggressive with what I was saying to you about your situation and about you being this coach, and like really discrediting your credentials and whatever sort of like studies that you may have done to get to the place to offer this level of coaching. I think that if she could do that, the slate would be clean, so to speak, in the sense of like, Winter has always apologized about the foolishness that she said if it bothered the people, or not even if. She would be like, you know, I said what I said and I understand that it offended you and I can apologize for that. That it's not been reciprocated on either side, on the other side. So it's just kind of like, y'all gonna keep doing this roundabout and saying all this foolishness, and it's like, it's you know me with the righteous indignation, like chill, like you got to own your part of it. You're in this situation with this person because there was something that you did and something that she did. So like, own your shit so that y'all can move forward.
Yeah.
So that's what the attempt was for that sit down that they had, which didn't go anywhere as far as we could see. And then they're going to have another sit down with all the ladies to create a whole lot more drama and another combustible situation. So we'll see how that plays out. But like,
it's like this show could not be any more forced if it tried. I'm sorry. I just like, it wears me out. Like the cast doesn't have a whole lot of chemistry amongst themselves. It's just, it's not my favorite. But I think we cover everything for Ready to Love. Next week we'll have, I mean, not Ready to Love, for Love and Marriage DC, but we will be back with Ready to Love next week. I'm going to try to get caught up on Housewives of New Jersey. I've been watching a bit of Miami, so I may have some belated comments about Miami. And let us know.
I just finished their last season, so I'm catching up too.
So drop down in the comments, let us know what you're watching so we can jump on the train and you can, you know, come chat with us on Monday nights.
If you've been here to the end of this, we thank you for that. I do want to say that we have changed the program schedule in terms of how we pop in to do the lives. So next week, it won't actually be a live. Next week will be a premiere where we have a conversation about one of the deep dives that we did on one of these shows. So we'll see you the week after.
Well, come to our premiere too. So, because we definitely get down in the comments and talk to you. So if you stay to the end, drop us a little emoji in the comments to just let us know you're here, and we'd love to see.
Leave us a blossom of some kind, because
it's like soon to be springtime. It's spring. Give us a flower in the comments.
All right, y'all. Thanks for sticking out with us. Make sure you're following us on all of our social media and check out our website, blackandcurious.com, and we will see you in the next conversation. Bye, friends.